And here in the United States, President Joe Biden is in campaign mode as his political rival Donald Trump juggles court dates. While President Biden highlights his international policies, his Vice President Kamala Harris addresses the work done at home. Now, with the elections just 6 months away, Donald Trump has name-dropped 4 candidates to be his potential running mates. These include Florida Senator Marco Rubio, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and former Trump Cabinet Secretary Ben Carson. Now, many questions surrounding these names, but perhaps the biggest question of all is which one has the best chance of making the cut? Our next report has all the details.
I had a great stretch since the State of the Union, but Donald has had a few tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather. God bless America.
With the U.S. presidential election just 6 months away, American President Joe Biden is in campaign mode. Biden is highlighting his work at every opportunity he gets. From the war in Ukraine to the war in the Middle East, Biden says he's standing up to the challenges that America is facing.
But Putin was certain that NATO would fracture. I said to him in Switzerland that you want the Finlandization of Ukraine. You're going to get the Finlandization, you're going to get the NATOization of Europe. He had a brazen vision, which we stepped up and stopped. In the Middle East, while we conduct urgent diplomacy to secure immediate ceasefire that brings hostages home, our Army and Navy have deployed a temporary pier on the Mediterranean in record time to increase life-saving aid to the Palestinians.
With the election kicking into high gear, Biden's Vice President Kamala Harris is playing a more visible role during campaigning. As Biden focuses on his international policies, Harris is addressing issues at home, such as reproductive rights. The Biden-Harris re-election campaign is shaping up well for November. But where is Biden's political rival, Donald Trump? On Mondays and Tuesdays, Donald Trump is attending his hush money trial in Manhattan. During the week, he's often drowning in legal battles before getting a breather on the weekend, and it's this short break that Trump uses to campaign across the country. But now the former president wants a running mate to build his campaign even more. Trump has name-dropped 4 Republican lawmakers. These include Florida Senator Marco Rubio, Ohio Senator James David Vance, rising Republican businesswoman Elise Stefanik, and Trump loyalist Dr. Ben Carson. Out of the 4 potential candidates, Carson has been the most closely associated with Trump when he served as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development during Trump's presidency. And political experts believe that having Ben Carson as the running mate would increase Trump's popularity among voters of color, particularly Black and Hispanic men. Elise Stefanik was the first Republican leader to endorse Trump for 2024. The Republican conference chair has been one of Trump's most loyal supporters, and she frequently criticizes the media for being biased against Trump. However, in terms of buttering up Trump, Stefanik falls behind Senator Vance. Vance is a personal favorite of Trump. The former president himself says that Vance, as the vice president, would do a fantastic job. And the Ohio senator wholeheartedly backs Trump. He even attends the criminal trial regularly while taking pot shots at Biden on behalf of Trump.
Whether you love Donald Trump, whether you like Donald Trump, or whether you're a Democrat or don't care about politics, what's going on inside that courtroom is a threat to American democracy, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot have a country where you get to prosecute your political opponents instead of persuading voters. Joe Biden's entire strategy is to try to distract from inflation at home and war overseas with this sham trial.
The final and most likely to become Trump's running mate is Marco Rubio. Trump first hinted at Rubio as his vice president candidate in March. Despite being a rival during the Republican primaries, Rubio has hummed Trump's tune since 2016. Rubio's Hispanic heritage and popularity among the Spanish-speaking voters will be a major boost for Donald Trump. When asked if Rubio would be Trump's running mate, the Florida senator said it would be an honor and an incredible opportunity. The message from Trump's re-election campaign is clear. The former president needs a running mate. The official vice presidential candidate will be announced during the Republican National Convention in July. Until then, Donald Trump not only has to juggle court battles and election rallies on his own, but even the much-awaited debate with Joe Biden on the 27th of June.
How you doing, man?
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on First Post America.